This will be a video response to Jezuzfreek777's video titled Why Do Atheists Celebrate Christmas? Now I realize that I might be a little late jumping on the bandwagon here, but I felt that it would have been most appropriate to make my response after the Yuletide season. Well, actually, Jesus Freak, this video is not entirely addressed to you, but more towards your daughter, who you did feature as a sort of guest in this particular video, and I'm hoping that you can show this video to her. And I know that many atheists have made responses like mine, but I'm hoping you will show her my response and not either ignore it or keep her away from it in any way or censor her from what I'm about to say. I promise that I will not curse or cuss. I will not be disrespectful at all in this video, and in fact, it's never honestly been my intention to be disrespectful towards Christians, especially those who are willing to ask honest questions. Hi, Stephanie. So, I'm just a guy here on YouTube making videos just like your dad, and while your dad is a Christian and talking about why he's a Christian here on YouTube, I do the opposite. I'm an atheist, and I talk a lot about why I'm an atheist here on YouTube. And while I am an atheist right now, I was not always an atheist, because I did believe in your God when I was your age, maybe even a little younger than you are right now. But I can safely say I've heard both sides, and I know both sides fairly well. Stephanie, I don't think you understand that cashiers say happy holidays not because they're afraid of offending atheists, but they're afraid of offending anyone who's not a Christian, like you and like your dad. And it's a bit more polite, I guess you can say, when people say happy holidays because it includes everyone, regardless of whether or not you celebrate Christmas, or maybe Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa, or maybe if you don't celebrate any of the three. You are still included if people say happy holidays. And I'm sure many have told you this, but I don't think that many atheists would be very offended if someone told them Merry Christmas. Because really, that's what we've grown up with, or at least a large majority of us have grown up celebrating Christmas. And we have absolutely no problem with people telling us to have a Merry Christmas, despite the fact that we don't believe in your God. And despite what your dad says, the holidays don't belong just to Christians. I think you've learned about a few of these other holidays in schools, like Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, and other certain types of festivities around this time of year, which depend on where in the world you live, what ethnic background you come from, etc. The reason why you and your dad tend to think about this time as Christmas time, you amongst many Americans and many North Americans and many Europeans in general, is because that's the way it's always been until recently. Well, when you think about what you've learned in school, again, how America was founded, how North America was founded, and maybe even a bit of European history, you'll know that at one point in time, almost everyone was a Christian. And Christians celebrate Christmas. So it's no surprise that this time of year has grown to be known as Christmas time if most of the people at this time were celebrating Christmas. So you might be asking, well, why is it still called Christmas time? Well, because of something called cultural lag, where we still hold a few traditions and a few beliefs and values from very old times that we treasure and has become essentially part of our modern culture. See, when things get old and outdated, they don't necessarily disappear. I mean, think about Christmas, once upon a time being Yule, a celebration of pagan origin. Pagans are very few in number now. There are not a lot of pagans running around in the world compared to Christians. But we still keep alive a pagan tradition, a very, very old pagan tradition, through Christmas. As for your question of why atheists celebrate Christmas, it's because it's fun. I like spending time with my family and my friends around this time of year. I like getting presents, and I like eating a lot of food. I am not the only one who doesn't believe in your God but celebrates Christmas. I know many Hindus and Muslims who still wish me a Merry Christmas and still do celebrate Christmas, despite the fact that they themselves are not Christian and don't believe in your God. There's nothing wrong with celebrating a holiday of religious origin, even if you yourself aren't part of that religion. Last I checked, I don't think you were a pagan, now were you? Because around this time of year, it was, once upon a time, a pagan holiday. I'd also like to ask if you have ever gone or still continue to trick or treat around Halloween, because that's a pagan holiday as well. It's not Christian. So, why do you celebrate Halloween if you're not a pagan? Well, there's nothing wrong with celebrating Halloween even if you're not a pagan. Nothing wrong with celebrating Christmas even if you're not a Christian. So there you are, Stephanie. I hope you understand why I, as an atheist, am not offended in the least when someone wishes me a Merry Christmas, why people say happy holidays instead of Merry Christmas, and why I don't really mind celebrating religious holidays even though I myself am not religious. That's all for now, folks. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have had a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and I hope there will be many great things to come. May the truth always be heard. Peace.